Good morning. Britain asylum seekers arriving by train, boat or lorry will be removed under new laws announced today. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak says the law will stop the immoral business, in his words, of people smuggling. Critics say the plan is unethical and unworkable. We're live in Calais this morning and debating the issue after 8.
2 people remain critically ill in hospital after that horrific crash in South Wales that left 3 of their friends dead. As anger grows over the police response to the tragedy, we'll have the latest live throughout the morning.
The Metropolitan Police say sorry that Wayne Couzens was not arrested for indecent exposure, a move which could have saved Sarah Everard's life. We'll meet this morning a mum who believes her daughter would be alive today if her killer had been arrested for a string of previous sexual offences.
And a Barbie doll for the Sky at Night's Dr. Maggie Aderin-Pocock, honoured as a role model for International Women's Day. She's here live with her look-alike dedicated dolly.
And actor, comedian and all-round star Jack Whitehall joins us to tell us about his travels without his father, as he learns how to live like an Italian.
I've fallen in love with your food, but more importantly, I've fallen in love with your way of life. Grazie mille!
Cold air setting in across the whole of the UK. Snowfall forecast in the south today, and then moving further north as we head through the week. I'll have all the details of that and more coming up. Good morning, Britain.
Tuesday, 7th of March, 2023. Live from Television Centre in London. This is Good Morning Britain with Susanna, Reid and Richard Madeley.
Good morning, Britain. It is 6 o'clock. Welcome to the programme. Now, it was this time yesterday that we reported on the fact that any parent of young people, anyone, of course, but any parent of young people, our hearts broke, didn't we, when we found out that 3 of these youngsters had been killed in this terrible crash. But I think the thing that really stuck out to us was, why did it take 46 hours to find this car? And the question that is at the front of everyone's minds, if 2 of those young people had survived, which we know, and they're recovering in hospital, what could have been done in the previous hours?
Because we don't know whether the 3 who died instantly or whether it took some time for that terrible thing to happen. In fact, there are more questions than answers, really, still hanging over the story. That's why we'll be going live to Wales severally through the show this morning. I mean, one of the mothers of one of the victims of this accident has been quite straight about this. She said that she felt that the police simply didn't take the missing people report seriously. They said, well, it's young people, it's 2 in the morning, they'll turn up. And they couldn't seem to absorb the fact that all the kids' phones had gone off at the same time. Instantaneously. All the phones that they had been, you could see when you tried to call them, had all become disconnected, discontinued at exactly the same time. So clearly something very odd had happened. But it took a while, it would appear, from the allegations being made, for the police to take on board that was the...
It's absolutely shocking and entirely heartbreaking, and our reporter is going to be bringing us up to date in a few minutes on all of the questions that the police have to answer. And they have, of course, been referred to the police watchdog because...
They've referred themselves, haven't they?
Yeah, exactly right. Because what on earth happened? I mean, I suppose you can see the woodland there.
Well, we speculated on this yesterday, didn't we, that was probably the initial reason that they hadn't been able to find this vehicle, because it had got lost in shrubs or woodland, and that's exactly what happened. But it appears to have collided with another vehicle, so why wasn't an investigation made at the scene? It just seems... the whole thing seems very strange.
Yeah, so more on that in just a few minutes' time. We've also got very good news this morning. We're going to be meeting a great hero of this programme, Dr. Maggie Aderin-Pocock. She is, of course, a space scientist, presenter of the BBC's The Sky at Night, and one of the most effective communicators about space in all of its complexity and mystery. And what is wonderful about Dr. Maggie Aderin-Pocock is that she has been honoured with a Barbie. Now, she does not think anything other than the fact that this is absolutely marvellous.
It's a sort of contradiction in terms, isn't it? I mean, it's for International Women's Day. It's a sort of
Yes.
So you give her a Barbie doll. Now, some people would see that as contradictory, but she doesn't. She thinks it's fantastic.
And
she loves it.
Previous Barbie role models have included the vaccine creator, Professor Sarah Gilbert, and the boxer, Nicola Adams. That's Dr. Maggie, of course, there.
Would you like to be honoured with a Barbie doll?
I think that would be marvellous.
Yeah. A GMB Barbie.
Yeah, journalist Barbie. I love that, yeah.
Could I have a Ken?
To be fair, Richard, you do look like the spitting image of Ken.
Get lost.
Yes, you
OK,
do.
I'm out of here. I'm sorry.
Well, why?
Only so much. Be likened to a plastic. Come on.
You just said you'd like a Ken. You've compared yourself.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I walked into that one. Yeah, that's true.
So we'll talk to Dr. Maggie. She attended 13 different schools.
Because she was dyslexic.
Because she was dyslexic.
Yeah.
So she's marvellous. And the Barbie, she thinks, you know, shows the potential, what young girls can achieve, and why not?
Yep. I want to ask her, while she's here, about life on Mars. Did you read these extraordinary reports that the Mars rovers, these vehicles that have been remotely taking pictures and examining rocks and stuff on Mars, seem to have found evidence of fossils of prehistoric life? Starfish, worms, insect eggs. Honestly, on Mars. So maybe there is life on Mars. She'll have a view on that.
She will definitely have a view on that. And she also wants to be the first woman to go to the moon.
Yeah.
So we'll talk to Dr. Maggie a little bit later on. But today's main news this morning, immigrants hoping to claim asylum in the UK will find themselves detained, deported and denied the right to ever return under the government's proposed immigration bill. Under the new law, refugees who travel to the UK through any other country but their own will automatically lose the right to stay, no matter if they arrive by plane, train or small boat.
Yeah, it's not just small boats, it's kind of any way that they get here illegally. Sanctuary will only be offered to unaccompanied children, the gravely ill and people who've come directly from their own countries and genuinely face death